AI agents. Everybody has a different interpretation of what it means. And in this video, I want to show you a really powerful tool that has AI agents built in that allows you to, for example, generate presentations that are researched and well-crafted, beautiful presentations. Then we're going to look at AI sheets, how this tool can scrape the internet to find leads for you that you can then call to sell your services to, for example. Then how you can download papers or let it download a bunch of papers for you without you having to do a single prompt or search on Google. And some other things that you can do is, for example, do some deep research, fact checking, and you can let the AI call for you. However, this is not available in Germany, so I won't be able to present that. But let's go over to the other tools. So let's start with the presentation part. So here I let it create a presentation about AI agents, what they are, where they can be used, and how they will impact businesses. So this takes a few minutes, and the tool is doing some searching the internet, then summarizing the documents and putting everything together into a presentation. Let me show you how the presentation is going to look like once it's done. Or we could even go as far as to creating another instance and let it do some other work for me. So I'm going to show you how it finds contact people or contact persons in companies who are responsible for the further training of their colleagues. Focus on SMEs in North Rhine-Westphalia, which is where I live. It's near Cologne, or it's in Germany. And my goal is to sell them my AI courses or an AI workshop for their workforce. So that's inside of AI Sheets, and it will start creating the contact details in a beautiful sheet that I can then directly contact and sell to. We're going to come back to that as well. Now let's look at another capability. It can do something else, which is to download papers mentioned somewhere, or in general, download papers for me. So I'm going to tell it what to do. So download papers about how AI agents are impacting the workforce and how they will impact our economy in the future. Okay, so let's do that in parallel as well. Then the next thing that this tool can do, and I love that feature, then the next thing that this thing can do is be a super agent. So I connected it with my Gmail, my calendar, and my Google Drive and so forth. And I connected it with my Notion. So now I can directly let it check my Notion pages for whatever information I wanted to check for. In this particular case, I'm going to say, create a list of habits that I can implement into my daily life. Think Atomic Habits, which is a book kind of style. Check my Notion pages to find habits that will help grow my business. All right. So it will now check all of my Notion pages. So it's first of all thinking what I want to achieve. Then it's checking out the different Notion pages that I have. And it's basically writing out a really nice list of, well, habits that I could implement into my life. And what we're going to look at as well is how you can use the Gmail feature. So how it allows you to basically create things like finding opportunities in your emails, then creating summaries of emails or of a bunch of different emails together, then also potentially finding dates that you can, for example, use in order to have a team event based on the availability of different emails that you receive from different team members. So there we are. So you saw it in real time, how long it took. I wanted to show you that. So it says the 2-minute rule habits, daily AI news scan every morning with coffee, scan 3 AI news sources for 5 minutes. So it's not really 2-minute habits, but it's 5 minutes. Good enough still. I think this is a useful one for you too, because you're interested in AI, right? So then one-liner insights, write down one key insight immediately after reading each article. That's a good one. Screenshot valuable content, save interesting charts, quotes, or data points to a dedicated folder. Then voice note ideas, record 30-second voice memos when inspiration strikes. All right, that's cool. Then content production habits, and then some daily network habits, as well as relationship building. Then it talks about knowledge accumulation, skill sharpening, revenue generating habits, system building, and so forth. So it went into a lot of really good habits that fit to my details that I have in my Notion page, and now it understands what my whole thing is about. So I'm teaching people how to use AI in their job and in their business. And yeah, it understood that very well and created a bunch of really cool ideas for me that I could implement into my life in order to become more productive and grow my business. Okay, so that's one of the use cases. Let's jump back to our presentation, because we let it build the presentation for us. And you see the first few slides are ready already. And by the way, if you really like what you're seeing here and you want to learn a lot more about AI and AI automation, then definitely check out the link in the description in order to become the AI expert in your team. And we are AI agents transforming business operations, understanding AI agents and their impact on modern business. And the thing is, you can always see the preview, the code, as well as the thinking process behind the generation. So here it's creating a 5th slide about the given topic. Here is a summary of what it's thinking. And I can go up here to check out what the presentations look like. This is a little overwhelming, so I could tell it, hey, rewrite this like this slide, or make 2 slides out of it, and so forth. And that's something that I tested, which I really liked, and it's the fact that you can modify each individual piece once the presentation is done building. Actually, let me see if I can already start modifying. Not yet, but once it's done, then I can start modifying individual pieces very easily just through talking to the large language model here, or to this tool, to Genspark AI. And it's writing a bunch of HTML code here, as you can see, including CSS, so that everything looks nice. I also wasn't very specific as to what the presentation should look like. So if I had said, for example, hey, make sure it's brief, it's on point, then I would have gotten a different presentation than what I got here. You see, it's overloaded with information. So this could be good as a handout, but I wouldn't really want to present this presentation to someone in the sense that it's way too much information. So people wouldn't really listen to me. They would start reading all of the information that you see on screen here. However, this is pretty cool. So I can really start using that, for example, for a handout on LinkedIn or a content piece on LinkedIn. And this will also be great research material that I can use, for example, for my LinkedIn visuals, if you have ever seen them. And if you haven't, you should follow me on LinkedIn. So there we are. Oh, something is drawing down. That's hilarious. So yeah, it's generating a few slides for me. You see, it takes a few minutes, but the cool thing is it really does some proper research. So you might have used tools such as Gamma.app, for example, and I love Gamma.app. It's an amazing tool. It's super fast and it creates nice looking presentations also. However, Gamma is not using real-time data. It's just writing out a presentation based on its knowledge, which usually is a year old or something. So I recently had the situation where somebody in a meeting or in a workshop was asking me, hey, can you let Gamma prepare a presentation about MCP? So I did, and it thought that I wanted to have a presentation about Microsoft Controller Protocol or something like that. I'm not sure what MCP stands for in the Microsoft sphere, but it definitely wasn't the MCP that Claude introduced, right? And it's because the new MCP is just not part of the knowledge of ChatGPT for 4.0, for example. Okay, so that's the whole point about this tool, where it shines, and that is, first of all, to create really nice presentations that you can very easily modify, as well as you can export those presentations and you can work with them very easily. Okay, so let's just quickly look at what it got here for us. So it says definitions: AI agents are autonomous systems that observe their environment, make decisions, and take actions to achieve specific goals with minimal human oversight. So what's important are the key characteristics, which are autonomy, memory, decision making, and tool usage. Okay, so these are the 4 pillars of AI agents. The core components are agent-centric interfaces, memory modules, profile module, planning module, and action module. All right, so pretty good stuff. Then types of AI agents, and they are simple reflex agents, model-based agents, goal-based agents, utility-based agents, and learning agents. Okay, so we could obviously go deeper into this, and you can see it's 6 slides. So let's view the export, or view and export. So here you see the presentation in big, and the cool thing is it's also, you see here, animated, or like there are some sort of like effects that you have when you hover over elements, which is pretty nice. This slide is a little too much. As you can see, you could pretty much already use that like a landing page. And then here, this is weird. AI agents market growth. You see it's growing down. Well, that didn't work well, so I would have to modify that. But you see, the point is that it's really, really fast and powerful. So you can export here as a PowerPoint or as a PDF and work with that in PowerPoint if you wanted to. And here you see this select and edit. So I could just say select and edit, click into this and say redraw the graph, for example. Okay, so now it's going to try to redraw this graph, and sometimes it needs 1 or 2 iterations, but overall it's gonna try its best to get the presentation to a level that you can work with. All right, so there you are. It's starting to think how to modify this and what kind of information it needs to display, and you can watch it do its work. So let's jump over to our creating contacts of SMEs in North Rhine-Westphalia, and you see it's finding people's names, it's adding the company details, the website, the training focus, all the good stuff. And this would help me to, for example, sell my own AI courses or sell my workshops to them. There are even like names and all of that stuff. So I am blurring things out here because I don't want you to, well, like anyone to be able to contact them without like finding the details themselves. Okay, but you get the point. So it's a pretty cool feature in my opinion. Then I gave it the role of finding a bunch of papers on AI agents, and it created it did a lot of research and it downloaded a bunch of papers for me, and the total collection size is 16.7, and I can find them in my AI drive. Okay, so it went ahead and created this drive here, AI agents workforce papers, and there we are. So there are a bunch of PDFs that I can check out. So this PDF, for example, that was downloaded for me, and here's the file that it downloaded. So it's a PDF of 100 something pages. Yeah, pretty long paper, but yeah, you get the point. So that's one of the features. And then the final thing that I wanted to show you is the super agent and how it has access to my Gmail and to my Google Calendar. And I'm just going to say, what are the most relevant appointments that I have in the next week? And there we are. It went to my calendar and created this list for me. So I'm going to blur things out here as well, but overall, this is pretty cool. What I also used it for is I told it, hey, what are the biggest opportunities that I have in my mailing, in my emails? And then it came up with all of the things that I might have missed, right? Because sometimes I get so many emails that I just miss something, and then it can indicate that. Or I can even say, what are the opportunities that I didn't respond to that I should check out? And then it can display that to me as well. So in my opinion, this is absolutely mind-blowing. This is an absolutely amazing tool, and I think it's going to be so valuable to so many people because it really combines a bunch of different aspects. And the cool thing is you also have access to your AI chat here, where you can just do whatever you do in ChatGPT as well. So you can either use a mixture of agents, so it mixes the best AI models for whatever task you give it. You can also just say which model you want to use specifically. So you see the smart model 03 is here, GPT 4.1, but then also Sonnet with the 4 thinking model, as well as the Gemini 2.5 Pro and DeepSeek. So really cool tool in order to get a lot more done than you ever did in the past. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like, and also tell me what are the use cases that you are planning on using this for. And by the way, if you really like what you're seeing here and you want to learn a lot more about AI and AI automation, then definitely check out the link in the description in order to become the AI expert in your team. All right, with that, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.